I'm Sumit Gupta, and it's my pleasure to introduce an exceptional professional and dynamic leader, Mr. Kunjankumar B Mehta. With over 27 years of experience, he is the director of the Group Internal Consulting (GIC) at UBS, a Zurich-based multinational corporation in investment banking and financial services. Mr. Mehta has worked with renowned companies like Wipro Technology, L&T, Infotech, and NIT Technologies. His career highlight includes expertise in delivery management, consulting, vendor governance, and program management. A tech enthusiastic, he has over 17 years of experience in database and data warehousing and has dedicated 24 years of experience in banking and financial service sector. An electrical engineer with MBA in the system, Mr. Mehta has held his PMP certification since 2005 and has earned several credentials like PSN, ITIL, OBIT, and several certifications from NPTEL platform. Beyond his professional achievement, he is also the Vice President of New Initiative at PMI Pune Deccan Chapter, India, and has been a passionate volunteer here for nearly 8 years. Today, Mr. Mehta will share his insight on project management and help us separate fact from fiction in his talk. Project management myth busting, separating fact from fiction. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Kunjan.
Thank you, Sumit. Thank you, Shrikant. And once again, warm welcome to every one of you. Today we are going to cover some of the myth busting. And mythology, always there is a kind of a little borderline along with fact. So many times it is little difficult to, sometimes it's a question of what we believe, what we don't believe. But at the same time, yeah, let's try to do what are the factors which affects them and how what are the things again in the limited time what Shrikant has given me. So we will try to cover those aspects. So couple of minutes we will go into introduction. I would like to also understand couple of things from you, and then we would go across various areas: planning from project manager perspective, development approach perspective, measurement, PMO. So we'll see that what are the facts we can cover over there, and then we can wrap up, and then we can go to question answer. So before I go to introduction, I would like to understand how many of you can have a raise of hands. How many of you are PMP certified? Wow. Okay, I should have asked how many are not, so it would have been easy. Fair enough. Okay, how many have cleared PMP exam in version 7 of PMB? Okay, good. That is good. I think there are few. How many have cleared in version 6 or 5? Okay, and rest I believe have been 4 or before, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Why I ask is slowly it will become more clear because those who have at least cleared from with PMBOK 7, there are quite a bit of changes which are coming from 6 to 7. Again, not, I mean, basic project management is not going to change, that is going to remain as is. But how we look at certain things, how the industry has been giving feedback to PMI, what they should include in the PMBOK and not, etc. So those things might have a little different shade of the vantage point from where we look at. And that just reminds me, yesterday only I checked in the email. So that is, sorry, I'm getting distracted over here, but PMBOK version 8 draft version is already out. Whoever is interested to provide feedback, you all can provide feedback. If you want to do anonymously, you can do anonymously on pmi.org. If you want to get your name also registered, you can do so also. Okay, coming back to aspects. And I would want you to, I think everybody will have at least network accessible here, right? We will go on Mentimeter, and I'm sorry I could not get you a QR code for that, but I can give you a code. So if every one of you, we can go over there on mentimeter.com. and I'll tell you code in just in a minute. Yeah, Mentimeter, or I think menti.com also should be. Oh, okay. Just a minute. Just a sec. Okay, and the code is 5986. Uh, let me 5986 3781. I'll repeat once again. 5986 3781. 5986, then 37, and last two digits 81. 5986 3781. Are you all getting the first question? Yeah. So, I mean, we all understand that initially everything might have somebody, we all would have seen various reels or videos, or we also in corporate team building exercise, we would have played. Somebody tells one sentence to next person, that person tells to other. And by the time at least 5 to 10 people later, completely sentence gets changed. Yeah. So there could be certain things. What are the factors which gives rise to such myths? Uh, okay, 5986 3781. Yeah. Anybody else facing issue in connecting? You need the code 5986 3781. Okay. So yeah, I think we have quite a good number of. No, that's fine. Uh, okay, still people are writing. There are 46 responses so far. You can submit more than one response also over here. I'm sorry, this is on a separate thing, so I won't be able to share simultaneously this also. But what I am seeing is lack of knowledge, perception, past experience, fear. These are some of the having more votes. Assumption is now growing, so getting more votes. Uh, then speculations are there, ignorance, common practice, incorrect information. Okay, grandma hand me downs. Wow, that's interesting. Chinese whispers. Okay, okay, okay. Good. I think so. All of us are. I think my last slide will not be required then. How to stay on the right side of the facts, because we know what causes this. Okay, fair enough. I think here also that same more or less 2 3 things only I had written. So why I am saying evolution of knowledge, because again I would like to link to the say version 6 and version 7 of PMBOK. So in up to version 6, if all of you know that we were having that 10 knowledge areas, and everything was linked to that, and we were having I don't know, I think at least up to 5, I am sure there were tools, technique, outputs, inputs, and whoever has cleared that, they have I mean, without any exception, I have made so far, everybody has rectified that. So that's fine, that's fine. But I think they are now changing. So what happens? Suppose we are having those kind of things. We are still thinking, those who we have cleared from 6 or above, we are thinking, okay, this is the knowledge area, and accordingly only this is the only way it has been done. Even if we might not be doing that in our office, but when somebody asks us, we will be giving that standard answers. But from 7 perspective, if we have not understood the crux behind that, it might change because now it is coming in a performance areas, domains, right? So that could be one of the aspect. Second, there can be new things which is coming. So, for example, I mean, some about 20 years back, we all were having phones. I mean, we were used to, or say, let's say 30 years back, we used to book a trunk call. Then after half an hour, somebody will call us back. Then STD PCOs came and it mushroomed across the country. Every nook and corner, you were having STD PCOs, and now they have gone. So at that point of time, STD PCO was a reality, was a fact at that point of time. Today, it is no more relevant. So there can be multiple things because of that. Past experience, I think somebody wrote over here also that fear and assumptions. So if we have done certain things and if it has brought us success, we believe that is universal truth. On the other side of the spectrum, if something didn't work out, even though it is true, अरे मेरे लिए तो नहीं काम कर रहा है, तो नहीं है ये, this is something somebody has done something wrong. And biases, I mean, again, biases would require a separate session on its own. And industry practices, why industry practices? Because IT industry may treat certain aspects in a completely different way than a pharmaceutical industry might need. A civil industry or construction industry might look at all these things in again completely different thing. So there can be certain aspects. So what another aspect over here I want to highlight is it is possible. I mean, although we will cover on a broadly what is fact and myth, but it is still possible that for some of you, even if we may call a particular sentence as myth, it may be a fact for you, for your industry, for your situation. Okay, so just have that qualitative aspect to this discussion. Okay, and then we will cover how to stay on the right side of the facts. More or less that's covered, but yeah, we'll still cover. So moving to, there are a couple of sentences, and you can now go to so this is the question whether this sentence is fact or myth. I am going to next slide. So in Mentimeter, you have to select this, whether this is a fact or this is a myth. 5896 5, sorry, 5986, sorry, 5986 3781. Okay. Okay, so far 12 people have answered. Project planning comprises of scheduling, drawing timelines, and detailed, it should be detailed WBS creation. Just about a month or 2 months back, we had a romancing with WBS, a beautiful session. If some of you missed that, please look at all the mail communication which are coming from the chapter and especially the programs. Okay. Okay, this is interesting because over here 10 people have said it is myth, 26 people have said it is a fact. I would like to understand from people who have said it is a myth, one or two, if you can say why you consider it is a myth. Anyone out of those 10? कि गलती से दब गया, ऐसा भी किसी का हो सकता है यहाँ. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Anybody want to counter that? Somebody who has voted for fact. Again, we will come to somebody who has voted for myth. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think a couple of opinions are gravitating towards detailed WBS. If I remove that WBS, detailed WBS, would you say it is a fact, ma'am? And you, sir? Or you still stick on myth? Okay. So you are saying something beyond this also is required. Okay. Anybody else want to have a different viewpoint? Uh, I think you are right, but not only on that particular point. Project planning requires everything, and many of you covered knowledge areas. At least those entire all 10 knowledge areas you have to plan. You cannot just plan just scheduling and say that I am done by with my planning. So from that perspective, that's a myth.
So you're saying that apart from those three, there's more to it than what was there.
Yeah, it doesn't just comprise of, because many times we are also are doing, I also have done many times when somebody says prepare a plan. If company is afford to able to afford MS project licenses, I will do it there. Otherwise, in Excel, fatafat, I will start writing something. This is my plan is ready. That is not the plan. That is just one component of a plan. Fair enough, fine. And the more detail you can think of and write down, it would be more accurate. Fair enough, but it is not complete project planning. Okay, so I would partially agree with you, ma'am, on that. Uh, you would be knowing who are the stakeholders, what communication you are going to do to those stakeholders, at what frequency you are going to, am I audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What frequency you are going to do that communication, right? So that is just on the.
No, this is what I'm saying. So frequency could be something we can learn gradually. It may not.
You
be
can
very
tune later on, but are we saying that when we start the program or project, we will not communicate, and after that we will have a meeting and then we decide, okay, whether we want to have a weekly or a monthly
No,
communication?
I'm not saying in that way. I'm just saying that planning is a kind of a process. We
Agreed,
have to learn
agreed.
it, adapt it gradually.
Yes, it never gets over. So it is not that once you do this, then you have to sit and relax. No, you have to continuously revisit that. That I agree. And metrics, etc. I would say, and that's where our last point of PMO also will come in play. But unless until that is a completely new startup and you are doing something completely new, your organization and you also as a professional, you have done various projects in the past. So we can't say that we will start the project and then we will think of metrics. Again, everywhere, tuning, refining, adding, if something is useless, redundant, we can remove it. Those all things will be there. But we cannot start with a blank slate. We would have to put something, what as per today's information, what we believe is going to be. Yeah. And similarly, all those aspects, I mean, communicate. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Agreed. So that is something like practical aspects, right? It is like my office is at Kharadi. I am staying at Wakar. Okay, fine. So if I have to go in office at 9 o'clock, and if I leave at 8 o'clock, generally, I mean in the morning, I may think okay, I may get it. But if I interface traffic at Khadki or anywhere else, uh, I mean I cannot say that because of this I could not reach. Yeah, once in a while if I come late, I can say that. So fair enough. I mean, as a project manager, ideally it is that authority is given to us. If we cannot highlight the risk, if we are not doing detailed planning, is it a risk, ma'am, to the project?
Yes.
And if we are not highlighting risk, are we missing from our duty? I miss Santosh ka, but it is like Gita. ये आपका कर्म है, आपको करना है, and if you are not highlighting that, somewhere we are not doing our thing. It can be because of I may be afraid of my boss. It may be because somebody 2 or 3 level above and coming and saying, no, you start this tomorrow because I have to make some press announcement or whatever it is. If I am succumbing to that pressure, I may be. I have also done in past. Many of us might be. But does that mean that what we did was correct? No. I'm just trying to highlight onto that perspective. Okay. Okay, this is the next one. I will click on again 5986 3781 if anybody disconnected. If a schedule based on CPM, that is critical path method, is not available, you can substitute it by preparing a list of milestone, and then maybe monthly or fortnightly you can set up a review meeting on a regular basis, and you can start review that. Okay, so far 7 people have said myth, 19 have said fact. One of the person who have said fact can just give your perspective.
Right now, it is not there on critical path method, but then it can come on critical path method if we don't follow the milestones and we don't follow that particular item. That's why we have to follow that and we have to keep on repeating in the meetings, so it will not come in the critical path.
Okay, noted. Anybody who has voted for myth, now it is 11.
Deciding milestone or actions or having big lead to lead towards lead towards the completion, and I don't have
Can you elaborate? I mean, I got little lost over that. I think, I believe what you are trying to say, I understood halfway through, but I want you to elaborate a little bit more.
having critical path,
Hmm.
how I can achieve my
Exactly. Yeah. I think in the interest of time, I'll go ahead. If you do not have, sorry, yeah, go ahead. Hmm. No, no, I am not talking about method. I am saying you do not have critical paths in front of you. That's what I think you also said, right? See, whether you are on critical path, you are having currently slack or not, it's a different thing. That's what, ma'am. So we are at already becoming critical. No, no, fair enough, fair enough. That's why we are all are here. We are all are here learning from each other. Okay, yeah. So point taken. And method perspective, I think we should not be hell-bent on CPM per se. My worry over here is if somebody is not having CPM, the quite possibly that person does not understand the dependencies between various aspects. And if you do not understand very clearly what are the dependencies and the prerequisites, how much those prerequisites are going to take time, then there are chances you are going to order that server 1 month late, or you are going to raise that job requisition which will take 3 months for your management to approve, and then 3 months for that person's notice period, even if I'm assuming that first interview you selected someone. Yeah. So from that perspective, if even if CPM is not there, when we decide milestone is there. And many times we say, but then at first we will have everything green. Slowly, if we are not on top of it, yeah, okay, you may start it, but then soon, I mean, it is something like you are already your car is on reserve, and unless until you immediately get it fuel, you can start your journey, but get it refuel ASAP. If not, you might get stranded on the highway. Yeah. Okay. One another aspect is, yeah, okay, I think that's what we covered. That if you need to know what are the different steps, what are the activities which need to be done. Unless until I do that, this activity is going to be delayed, and that activity is on critical path. If that activity is getting delayed, my project is getting delayed. फिर क्या होगा, हम रीबेसलाइन कर देंगे, कुछ हाथ में है नहीं, फिर रीबेसलाइन करेंगे, उस दिन सब कुछ ग्रीन में आ जाएगा वापस, वी विल बी फॉल्सली हैप्पी. Okay, now let's come to project manager. Which one is the fact and which one is the myth? This is interesting. So one sentence is that project manager don't need to be technically expert, and we are not talking only IT over here. Yeah, I mean it is affecting everywhere. I mean whatever technicality is involved in each industry. Leadership and business skill would be sufficient for project success. And second sentence is project manager need to be technically expert, as otherwise he or she may not be able to plan diligently or miss valid risks. This one is interesting. Let us see what is the verdict of the audience is. What is audience poll?
Required both.
Wow. This is interesting. I would like to show this. I think we don't need to discuss. You are right. You are right. So while you project manager don't need to be technically expert per se, but it always helps, and it is little bit of, I mean, whatever field you are working, a little bit of technical knowledge always helps, so that you can appraise of. You may not need to understand, because you might be have done some I am giving IT example, but you might have done maybe one technology, you have done some programs, and you are doing on other but if you are at least understand the programming concepts and etc., then you would be able to raise certain risks. You will know that these kind of things would be needed in say validation and etc. Yeah. Similarly, in car, if we take example again, I mean, so if you are designing a completely new thing, the whether you are reusing your engine or not, that is also one of the key. Then again, various other assembly. I mean, some of the siblings. I mean, we see many time, right? Some of the portion we see in the review that it is pick up from the so and so model. But if you are aware of it, you will be able to better manage. You don't need to be expert, but you need to at least know certain portion. So I would say this is both are. I mean, need to be technically expert is also a myth, and don't need to be technically. I mean, only soft skills will survive. That also is a myth. Yes,
Planning and estimation.
everywhere. Yeah, yeah, of course. Even there is some risk coming, something, some critical things are required and it is not there. What to do, contingency, which contingency, what will work, what may not work, it helps. Yeah.
That line is very important. Technically expert we may tend to show that I am the boss and I can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, so many time, I mean, when we were, I mean, in schools, I mean, I was good at studies. When we went to college, we were not that good at studies. And then one of our friend, he was our topper in our class. Okay, so sometime after the class, we will come completely blank face. Arey yaar, whatever what the professor told today, completely bouncer. And he will say, "Oh, this is like this simple as this is okay." He will speak some 10 minutes of lecture. Okay, and that's where then after that after our graduation we all became ad hoc lecturers. We served one semester to same alma mater, and that point of time he was struggling, because for him it was not a problem, certain things were so easy. Why students are not able to understand? He has never faced that issue. So something like that. So you need Ramakant Achrekar to coach. So maybe if Sachin becomes coach, he may not succeed. I mean, may. I mean, not to speak again anything against gods, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Next one. Good project manager can manage any project regardless of its complexity and size. So over here, yeah, whether it is a fact or myth. That's why I put that caveat at the start, right? Somebody's fact may be myth of somebody. So let's not think in binary terms. I agree. I accept your point, and we will cover in the explanation.
Bill is assured.
Huh, okay, so
I was like,
agree. So what is required? Okay, since you brought that thing, What is required to convert that can to will? Let's think that way.
You already backed it with the word good.
Remove good, because good is contentious. We will not go good. A project manager can manage, and if you want to convert that can to will, what will that project manager require to manage project regardless of its complexity or size? Good meaning, okay, let's define good, just to that person has done some projects successfully. That person has done some projects successfully, right? I mean, around 60-70 projects, what percentage of projects what he has done successfully. Okay, so that be the good definition. Now what will it require to convert that can to will? Yes, sir.
Knowledge might be important. The IT person who assigned a daily project, he might struggle,
Okay,
and vice versa.
okay, noted. Anybody else have
You yourself gave the answer, right? 60% of his are successful and 40% are not. This this this
I would say let's not go in percentage. Let's increase to 80%. Then no, fair enough. So that is also a valid point.
Because of that, it comes to myth.
Okay,
40% are not. He was not able to do.
okay,
Every good project manager also will not be able to do every project successfully.
okay, noted.
Even the complexity inside matters.
Yeah.
You can't, someone who has built maybe some kind of a house in a village, if you ask him to build a big stadium for Olympics, he may not be able to do that.
Noted. Agreed. Agreed. Yep.
Yeah, I'm also thinking.
Fair enough.
The skills, team, identifying the right resources.
Hmm.
He can manage it. Good project management should be able to handle all conflicts.
Okay. So I think what I am listening from all of you is that for that, so if somebody has done, I think we took that example which is completely spectrum apart. But let's say, for example, somebody has built a row house township in Pune somewhere. Now you are giving him to raise a 33-story high rise. It's a different complexity that person has never worked in. Yeah. If that person has to do that, will we be having at least the basic structural and civil engineering knowledge how these are done? He might know that what I don't know to build a high rise, and as I think you rightly said, maybe he can complement his lacuna with some of the good team members and etc. Okay, maybe some instead of his usual architect who is just building maybe 1 or 2 story from grounds up, he may get an architect or a structural engineer additionally who has built some high rise with this kind of a thing. But he also, as a project manager, he cannot execute the project like he has done the row houses. He would have to change his methodology. He would have to change, just to answer to domain thing also, how much detail he was able to go on one particular program or project of X complexity. He may need to change that too on when he is working on a Y complexity project. Yeah. Okay. So point taken. I have given it as a fact over here, and answers are 19 and 18. 19 are myth, 18 are fact, but points are valid. It's not that sorry Shrikant, you need to. So not everyone can scale up anytime, I mean change the game as easily, but if somebody has a good, and the definition what I had over here, and not necessarily only good perspective, but uh, so if they need to have, basically all PM skills you can bucket into 4 broad areas. One is the technical aspect, leadership skills, communication, because we learn every time, right? Communication, 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 and certain business skills or domain skills. If he is having a reasonable of this skill set with him, and with good resources, he can take up not completely drastic different, but he can take a maybe horizontal something little bit more 1 degree higher complexity or 1 degree different domain little bit. So if one of the pillar is changing, I think he can manage. Okay. One other thing is, yeah, he may need to do necessary adjustments, and these adjustments are also very vague word. And then we cover, I think we all of you suggested what needs to be done. With that, he should be able to do that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Many times, yeah, that happens. Somebody in our organization also, you see that somebody has worked on a multiple 2 3 programs and etc., which are maybe greenfield. Okay, and that person has done very nicely, starting with the even in the waterfall or agile, whichever way you take it, completely requirement this that sign off blah blah and completed. And you give a 10 years old program where there is no documentation, and you want them to maintain that and build new features, and the person struggles sometimes. So a good PM is not a silver bullet, and overconfident PM is a risk. We say sometimes I know what I don't know, right? I mean, what is in my black hole. So if I know what I don't know, then I may seek help. I may get somebody who knows that. But if I don't know what I don't know, then that is the issue. This is as I talked about the 7th edition, right? So again, I mean, it's minor changes. 6th edition maybe almost same. So this is a just definition of project manager in the 7th edition in the standard of project management. And you all can download. I believe all of you would have at least downloaded, right? All those documents from PMI.org. No, so that's what I at the start of the Jai sir I was saying, because now 8th version is in draft. So at least please download 7th version ASAP if you have not done. Okay. This is very easy, but I mean, there were a couple of others also. Waterfall is dead. Agile is only for IT. I filtered those out. But project management methodologies such as Agile, Waterfall, Iterative, they are mutually exclusive. Is this fact or myth? I think this is very easy. We should not even discuss it. No, we would have to discuss it. Yeah, bar is raising. Both side votings are coming. So far 10 people, 11 facts, 17 myth. Thank God election commission is not here. नहीं तो बोलेगा voting खत्म होने के पहले you cannot I mean publicize the trends. Okay, 11 facts, 21 myth. Uh, of course, this is not mutually exclusive. There can be many overlap. And going forward, and in the 7th edition, so this is the what they are going ahead. They are now, although they are calling it, it can be referred to as waterfall, but they are coming up with terminology of predictive development approach, hybrid development approach, and adaptive development approach. When you go on this side of the spectrum, your iterations will become smaller and smaller. Read agile, scrum, 2 weeks ka sprint. You might be having even 1 week ka sprint. And on this side, it is more like our traditional waterfall kind of. So I think more or less it's clear. If the requirement can be defined, collected, analyzed at the start of the project, more clarity is there, not much change is expected. Cookie cutter approach is working. You have built 3 bridges, you are building the 4th bridge, you know what is the riverbed is going to be, what are the possible risks, you are aware of it. So I mean, that can change the schedule here and there, but it's not outside your competency. Yeah. And over here, when it is requirements are subject to high uncertainty, I think fair enough. We all agree. Yeah. Okay. Somebody who has voted fact, just want to understand the perspective of that person. ये डिस्कस करने के पहले पूछना चाहिए था, सॉरी. ठीक है, चलो फाइन. ओके फाइन. ओके, विल go ahead. This is an interesting one. Okay, this is on the measurement. So this is another performance domain in PMB. Okay, An accurate and natural way of assessing cost performance is to compare actual project cost incurred to the budgeted cost. This is very interesting. Don't change your answers just because I am saying very interesting. So if somebody has little bit confused or some vagueness is in the statement, let me show the next thing. Say for example, this is your program. There is a budgeted cost every quarter. In this quarter, it is 0.75 was the budgeted cost. Next quarter was 1.5. Now 2 quarters are over. In the first quarter, instead of 0.75, you have consumed $1.25 million. Second quarter, instead of 1.5, you have consumed almost $1.75 million. Now, this is what your finance guy is coming and presenting you. You are program manager, project manager, or you are CEO, whichever way. What is your reaction? How is the project doing? उसका मेंटीमीटर में नहीं है कुछ, but you can say it loud. How is your project doing? Okay. I mean, how good? Okay, the bingo, and that is the actually the crux. Over here, 22 people said that is a fact. Means you are saying it is an accurate way to compare actual project cost with the budgeted cost. And now in the discussion, definitely you are bringing it up. What if against 1.25 I have earned completed work of 1.5 million, and against 1.75 I have completed 2 million work? Your project is in bright green. You might be probably complete in the quarter 3. Agreed?
Yes.
Any confusion? Okay. So no description over here. The chart is self-sufficient, explanatory. So basically, only one factor we should not judge based on that. We need to consider the complete aspect. Yes. And now this is very, very cute PMO thing. Okay, I would show the slide. There are so many statements we keep on hearing in for PMO. It is always when you don't find anything to discuss, you will discuss PMO. And now even the PMI also has also taken over that company, and now PMO as a proper PMI is going to focus on it. Now in multimeter, which of the below statements are myth with respect to PMO? You can select more than one answers. This is not single answers. Hmm? Overhead. The different word of overhead. Or it requires too much money and you are not getting return out of it. I think ये खाली थोड़ा फन के लिए था. Now we all know मतलब इसमें there is no marks for guessing. Almost everybody has given all as myth, which is true. But a couple of things I just want to highlight, because PMO is something which varies widely, company to company, industry to industry. Yeah. And at least I have worked mostly in the IT and BFSI captive, and I know from service provider side what in different companies what PMOs were doing. That was also different, and in the captive side what we are doing in the PMO, I mean there is quite a bit of difference. And within divisions also, wealth management does in a different way, asset management does in a different way. I don't know why. I mean it's not rocket science. But yeah, I mean that is happening. Ideally, if you leverage it rightly, that is a way where you should have all your data repository, metrics and everything, past projection, etc. And you should be leveraging that in for the new project and programs. If you are going to start on your own, I am so then that PMO cost is definitely overhead if you are not leveraging that, if you are not utilizing that. But if you structurally, uh, properly establish something, they can question the project managers. They should not be bulldozed by the project manager, program managers. You should not just put someone pretty junior who cannot take a stand, who is afraid of talking to three level higher. Then you will not get the benefit out of it. All are on same page. Fair enough. Sorry, we almost खत्म हो गया. Okay. Okay, so we just in the recap, few things on the planning. What we discuss is planning is not only the scheduling or WBS. That is up from PMI perspective, and we all have cleared. Majority 90% of us have cleared it. We know planning requires, it is a holistic view of planning. That's what is there. From project manager perspective, yes, there are broad skills which are needed. Technical is good, not need to be expert, but at least and of course, but leadership, communication, those soft skills, if it is not there, then definitely the at that level that person may, I mean, stakeholder management, communication, that is going to be doomed. uh, Very good thing, earned value. Many time, in fact, I think one of our quiz also, I think about 4-5 months back, some discussion was happening on value. ऐसा definition दिया नहीं है, ऐसा है नहीं है, ये नहीं. Okay, fine, fair enough. Let's forget the nitty gritty. But at least as a project manager, what I am work getting done by my team or maybe a vendor or anywhere, whether that is and how much cost is remaining, because the on value, the other side of that coin is how much cost it will take for us to complete the projects. Yeah. So if I am not having that clarity, then the financial management will go for a toss. Yeah. Uh, I think that's, and the last thing, which I think in the first slide only you had given, how to stay on the right side of the facts, uh, continuous learning, because as I'm saying, things are changing many time. I mean, earlier when the second version of PMBOK and third version was that Agile was not, or maybe taking a baby steps at that point of time. Not, it was born long back, but PMI had not embraced it at that point of time. Now we are going very up to the extent, in September we went to Delhi Region 11 conference. I mean, you also should try attending the national conference. It happens generally September October time frame. It is entire Region 11's conference is happening. Okay, and next year it is going to be in Hyderabad. So I mean, you can even plan Ramoji City to fill. Our that is on February. February that already we covered in the start. Makran sir covered that. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, agreed. So okay, so why I was referring Delhi conference, they were having a, in construction how agile is used, a complete separate track of about 3 to 4 sessions. They had kept that. So now PMI is also focusing on agile, and as I said, that's why we didn't even include that. Agile is only for IT. No, of course, that is not the case. Yeah, agile everywhere it is being used. But again, everything has its own plus and minuses. Agile should not be used just to get out of, I mean, the loophole of not committing to schedule. It should not be used like that, but otherwise fine. I will not go there because it is a controversial discussion. At the end, this is a project management definition in standard of project management. And if Srikant allows, then we can have maybe a couple of questions.
A couple of questions you can take, running short of time. Do one example on developing
Okay, okay. So develop critical thinking. Like one of the thing what I gave example was that when I cleared my PMP, we just mugged up tools, techniques, output, inputs because we knew some questions will be there on that. That just accepting on the face value over there without understanding the rationale behind that can be risky. So when I develop critical thinking, means I can question my own assumptions also objectively. At the same time, I may not like somebody is always kind of opposing me in the project meetings. But if that person is coming up with something good and finding fault, especially in my plan, then I should take it constructively. Yeah. If everything good is there, that's fine. But critical means we also should be our own critic also. So that is one of the aspect. So basically, how many of you watch Gukesh's last match against Ding? No. Okay. So what happened very briefly? So Gukesh, Ding Liren, the defending world champion, committed a mistake. He was in extreme time pressure. He was having only 9 minutes. Gukesh had 1 hour and 27 minutes or something. He made a blunder. When Gukesh saw this, he was just looking at that, and then suddenly he realized he committed a blunder. Then he took few deep breaths. He drank water, and then again he did not jump onto that. So sometimes something even in our office, if something is very good and etc., we need to take a pause. Normal basic things training wise, if you are angry, you would draft the email but don't send it. I mean, that is we all, I mean, many of us do that. Something similar to that, even in project plan and etc. When you prepare it, I mean, you might be doing 7 plus 3 11, you will do 7 plus 3 11 only a 1 hour. You put it aside, after next day or maybe after, depending upon your time commitment, you revisit that and you may find certain faults in your own work also. Yeah.
Sometimes, my personal
Hmm.
experience, I find difficult on the earned value calculations, and which when doing it is okay, but when explaining,
Hmm.
sometimes it is difficult. So how that can be made easier?
Okay, I will not go into technicality, maybe we can take it offline, but what I would say is this, as I told, basically we need to understand two component when we are in a project being executed. Two component, how much it is going to take total thing, how much worth value, I mean, so say for example 1 million is our cost going to be, and out of that we are going to get 1.5 million worth of thing. So how much we have completed and how much cost, if I have incurred cost of half a million, whether my work also as half a work has been completed or not. That is the basic crux of earned value. Yeah. And sometime, because sometime what happens when you are looking at, because you had created a list of say 50 deliverables, out of that you are saying 25 got completed. So that gives you an idea that my 50% work is done, but there is a catch. Aspect is that you may have certain CRs already lined up. Those could be critical CRs. Your list of 50 meg is going to become 60. If it is going to become 60 and you have done 25, you are not at 50%. You are 25 by 35. That is what your ratio is. So that is just, if you need just, I mean, normal as a person, you take care of it and value will take care of it. But yeah, if equation and etc., if you want, maybe we can discuss offline. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks. You've been a very great audience and participatory. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to request Jay Duroki, our president, to present a comment.
Thank you. Good, good work. Thank you, sir. Thank you.